you're one of the few athletes that said, you know what, I'm not going to get so busy with this football stuff. I might get rich playing football, but I'm not going to get wealthy. And I think you see that distinction. In fact, looking and listening to you, there's this fire of, being more interested than interesting, of living life to its fullest. Is there something that happened to you when you were young that, gave you this kind of different, because you have a different attitude.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, who the heck just spends 6 hours doing the cell phone? Who does all that? Like, you just have this incredible attitude of, taking 50 people out for coffee, right? Tell me about what happened.
So it was actually between my senior year and my 5th year of college. Me, my mom, my dad, my grandma, we went on a missionary trip to Haiti. So I'm Haitian, and our mission was to give out medicine to different churches and orphanages across the country. We went out there with that group, some people from our church, some nurses from Monmouth University. And it was, the most beautiful week of my entire life. Like, being able to be ingrained with your own country, with your own people, eating the food, eating tree-ripe mangoes and coconut and things like that. It was unreal. And it was May 29th, 2015. And there was 4 of us. We were playing the card game called Spades. And there was a storm that night. So to let a breeze in, we opened up the steel bolted door. And we had 10-foot walls with barbed wire on the outside. And all of a sudden, you ever seen those electric fly swatters that you kill bugs with?
Yeah.
We were killing a whole bunch of bugs with those the whole trip. And all of a sudden you hear this loud pow. And my initial reaction is who's hitting the fly swatter at 2:30 in the morning? I was frozen.
Yeah.
There was this guy sitting across the table from me, his name's T. He realizes what's happening. It was a gunshot. And all of a sudden you see a foot kick through the front door. And 8 guys storm in. And T jumps across the table, tackles me out of my chair. And that guy who shoots through the door got scared and shoots point blank at us. And because he tackled us, we're on the ground. And the gunshot went right into the wall. And they flip over the table. There's a girl next to us, and she had a shawl on. They rip it into pieces. We all get hog-tied, so hands tied behind your back, feet tied at your ankles, hands tied at your feet, and blindfolded. And they went room to room and stole everything. They punched one lady in the face, attempted to rape another lady and failed. There was a pastor who was staying with us, and if you didn't know where his bedroom was, you'd have never looked there. So he was hiding under his bed, and he calls the police, send help, we're under attack. And the cops go, where are you guys located at? Nope, we don't come that area. Click, and just hang up on him. And so then he calls the next door neighbor. He says, go outside with your gun and just empty the clip out in the air. So all of a sudden outside, so from my perspective, I don't speak Creole. I don't know that conversation's happening. And outside you just hear all these gunshots going off. And I'm thinking the country's under attack, there's a war going on. I have no idea what's happening, and I'm blindfolded. And after those shots, we thought the bandits had scurried off, but on our compound had our house, and then it had a small medical clinic, and they were in the medical clinic stealing all of our medical supplies and things like that. And at that moment, so my dad, who's 20 years ex-military, 5 years military, 20 years state police, unties himself, starts to crawl out to see if anybody got hit by any of those gunshots, closes the steel door, locks it, starts to untie me. And all of a sudden you hear, dome, dome, dome. They're banging on the door again about 40 seconds later. And we're all trying to be quiet because we're dead bolted in now, so they can't get in. And then they start shooting out the windows. So, pss, 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 and we're just sitting ducks. So my dad's like, okay. Opens the door back up, they rough him up, tie him back up, throw him on top of me, go through the house again. And probably about an hour or so later, you finally hear sirens going off in the distance. The bandits, they scurry off. The cops, they come. They were there for 5 to 10 minutes, told us, take pictures on your phones and bring them by the station if you want, and good luck, and left. And I started grad school 3 days later.
And from these awful experiences, we learned valuable lessons. What was the lesson that you learned?
Ultimately, the value of life. It almost, to start, it almost seemed like a joke, it was happening. It literally seemed unreal. We're here helping these people. It didn't make sense to me. We're here helping these people in this country, and we're being robbed. But then it came to a point where I ultimately came to peace with the fact that I was going to die. I was super happy because my little brother, he had actually just gotten drafted this is May of 2015. He got drafted in April. And I was just happy that he wasn't there. And he was already out in Oakland doing his rookie mini camp and all that stuff. And he was going to be able to live on his dreams. And literally me, my mom, my dad, my grandma, we were all going to die. And I mean, saw my life flash in front of my eyes. Like, it was pure peace. And then it was, getting out of that, you truly, truly, one, understand the value of life, and two, I can frame that moment against anything. Meaning nothing is as worse as being tied up, covered in your own piss in a third world country and knowing you're about to die. Like, I never ran a marathon in my life. I could run one tomorrow because I know I wouldn't stop, because all I gotta do is just think about, you're not dead, just keep running. And like,
Right.
That's how I got to the NFL. That's how I've gotten to where I'm at this point in my life.